Forgiveness can be annoying. Most of the great spiritual habits can be annoying if you're not in the mood for them. Gratitude, forgiveness, but especially forgiveness when you're perceiving betrayal. Judgment is juicy. Judgment feels good when you feel betrayed, when you perceive somebody having done you wrong. It's just a natural security blanket for the ego to house itself in how right it is and how wrong someone else is, and sort of repeat that narrative, and yeah, just jump into the ice cold waters of judgment and condemnation, which trick you into thinking they're warm and fuzzy, but they're not. And it's annoying. It's kind of annoying when you know better as well, because before you know better, you can still sort of, I mean, it's a dead end to judge and condemn others, and to not sort of allow the energy of atonement and forgiveness to sort of elevate your consciousness. But it's you know, it's difficult, but you know that this is what's good about certain practices like Ho'oponopono. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Because in those times, like, you can just sort of lean on the principles of what you know to be true. That judgment and condemnation is always wrong. That anger is always a wrong-headed place to be at, and you know, the high ideals that Jesus always talked about, or all the spiritual masters talk about, is sort of where you want your home base to be, in a place of forgiveness, self-accountability, self-responsibility, gratitude, and places that are kind of annoying to be at if you're not in the mood for them. Let's face it, it's not easy. But there's certain practices, that's what I want to talk about now, is the certain practices of forgiveness, where you just, well, for one, just knowing that you are responsible for everything in your field of consciousness, and to then not allow a place of judgment and condemnation and anger to sort of reside within you. Let's read this poem I just wrote. Replace fear with forgiveness. This day wakes me up with a blessing. My eyes see potential, and dreams in the bouncy house of consciousness wake up with somersaults. The illusion of fear spreads thin as I remember presence or seek the Father. Third eye antenna turns into a cartoon lightning bolt, and another purple lightning bolt shooting from the sky, tapping my head. Emotional freedom technique. This is emotional freedom technique, EFT. And breath work, deep breaths for minutes on end, and then holding as presence establishes itself. Yet again, replace fear with forgiveness, for peace can't come any other way. And what is of greater value? Judgment is a game for children playing God. The same as pretending to be a doctor or a fireman. I'm nobody's judge, not even my own. My concern and my birthright is love. And love is not defined by separation or politics. Love is universal, unity and surrender to a higher authority. What a relief to know this, and forfeit concepts like vengeance or revenge. They have no place in the sea of forgiveness in which I'm submerged. To know, too, that I need forgiveness, which my Father bestows upon me with grace, love, and mercy, as I align my heart with His. Welcome to another day, which is nothing but a blessing, then guiding my awareness towards the light. So yeah, if it's particularly difficult to find forgiveness, and if there's some betrayals looming in your consciousness or in your perception. I guess it can be like going to the spiritual gym, and there's just certain things. For one, just knowing it's not a good strategy, to get into a victim narrative, that somehow, God is putting us in the spiritual gym of digging a little deeper, of sort of realigning, forgiving ourselves for not being like spiritually enlightened all the time and up above it all. Sometimes we fall into like, a little bit of anger within and stuff like that, and we have to like get into some breath work, get to the gym of the spiritual, the spiritual gym of the soul, and do the heavy lifting of like, okay, I don't really feel like it, but let's practice Ho'oponopono. Let's, understand that we are responsible for everything in our field of consciousness. Let's get present in the now, and see how a victim story is all sort of, the ego's way of taking dominion again. And it's always about the past and the future, and it's never in the present moment, which is where we, of course, always want to be. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. All right, let's play a little harmonium. I don't know if any of that helped, but there you go. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Love you, I'm sorry, sorry, please forgive me, thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Yeah, it's early here, so I don't know if I actually made the point. The point was when the ego is challenging the spirit, and when you aren't sort of in the cusp of your spiritual strength, and sort of everything in life is zooming along accordingly, it's easy to keep those high spiritual principles afloat. But the challenge comes when stresses of life come in, and people do things that are perhaps seemingly not that nice, and that's when techniques like breath work and Ho'oponopono to override the ego come into play. So it's just being conscious constantly about your state of mind, and sort of keeping a keen eye on those things. God bless you. Here's my daughter.